Hi everyone, it's Miss Kelly from the Wakanda Area Library to show you what we're doing with this month's Art to Go kit. This month you guys are going to be doing some weaving. So in your kit you're going to find a piece of cardboard, a guide, and some various different yarns, lengths of yarns. From home you'll need a pair of scissors, a pencil, and a ruler or any kind of straight edge would be helpful. You don't need to actually measure with it. I already did that for you here. So to get started, you're going to make your loom first. So you're going to take your straight edge and you're going to make a line right here. You're going to do it at both ends. I don't know, it's about 1 inch maybe in. So just do it so it's even on both edges. You don't have to really measure exactly how far. You can just eye it. And then you're going to take your guide and you're going to place it on the edges like this. You'll take your pencil and you're just going to put a little dot right about where the edge of each one of those lines is. This is just going to show you where you can cut. We're just doing this so that your loom, the distances will be pretty even. So you just make a little line like this for cutting. This is not super thick cardboard, but it's kind of tough to cut through, so make sure you get a good pair of scissors. You have to do this at both ends. Get my quick little lines there. They don't have to be perfect. This is just a kind of a loose guide, so your loom will be fairly even. Okay, and then you're going to take your scissors and you'll cut right up to that line you drew. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfectly on there, but you can cut right up to it, so all the way up. I wanted to use strong enough cardboard so that it'll hold up to the bending and all the movement from when you're making your weaving on it, but not too hard that it was too hard to work with. Do the same thing on the other end. And then once we get these all the way cut down, you're going to bend the ends up right on that line we drew. That's just going to help you hold your weaving in place. I went pretty far down in this one. You, again, don't have to make it that far down. Bear in mind that this is how big the finished product is going to be. It's going to be in between these two lines. This is going to be the woven part. So if you get a little closer to the end, it'll be a little bit bigger. And then you're going to fold it right on that line. Just fold them up. All right. The other end. All right. That's your loom. Kind of crazy to look at. The next thing you're going to need to do is take, I gave you either black or gray yarn. You guys all got some of the thinner yarn because you got two kinds. You got a little bit more thicker and then the thinner stuff. We're going to use this to make your loom. And you're going to need to measure a piece that will go in this first slot here. So I'm going to leave some hanging out at the bottom. You're going to go all the way to the top, the same spot in the top, and pull it all the way down to the bottom. And then wrap it around that first piece of cardboard. Put it down there kind of tight. And then come down to the next one. And then pull it so it's really tight. So it's on there really nice and good, okay? And we're gonna keep doing this all the way across. We're gonna skip this one and then we're gonna put another one in here. So a good thing to do is once you've got this first piece in there, you can take that back out and measure how long a piece of yarn you needed and cut 7 of these because you're gonna need that many to go across. Now I've got one here that I already put all those on. And actually you can see that I didn't go as far. See this one, I folded this one up. I didn't go as far here. I did a little bit less far. So I've already looped these on all the way down. So I've got my first one on here and then my second piece. I'm gonna take this, put this last one on here. Put it in here, push it all the way down. Make sure it's even. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the pieces that are hanging out at the end is going to be part of your artwork, so part of your finished product. So put it in there on the 2 even ends. Okay. All right, so now we've got it all the way across. You're going to go down to here in the bottom. And you're going to take those first 3 and just tie them together. Tie them in a little knot. It's going to kind of look like a tassel at the bottom of your weaving. Okay. And then you go to this end and take these 3 and tie them together. I'm going to try and make it look about the same as the first one you tied because this is going to be part of the look of the finished product. Okay, and you push it up there. Okay. So not only is this going to make it look nice, this is also going to help hold it together, hold it on there. So you take the next 3 and tie. And once we get all these guys tied, we're going to start our weaving right away. Pull that through there. Oops, I missed one. Okay. And these 3, and then you're going to find you just have 2 left in the middle, and just those 2 you're going to tie together. It's not an even number. There you go. And then these last 2 just get tied together like that. So now this is the loom you've got. You've got this end where they're just looped on, and this end they're all tied down. Now if you want, if you're worried about them coming off while you're working on it, you can take and put a piece of tape on the back there just to hold them down if you're worried about them sliding off. But now you're ready to weave. And now is the fun part. This is entirely up to you the way you want to do it. So you can either double your yarn like this and weave. So remember, you're going to go under and then over, under, over, under, over, under, over, all the way across. Check yourself every once in a while because it's really easy to skip one, and you'll notice at the end you'll all of a sudden see, whoops, wait a minute. And then you're going to take your fingers and kind of push it all the way up to the top like this. All right, and then I'm going to do some green next. Now I doubled that one, which gives you kind of a nice thick line, but like for the next one, I'm just going to do a single one. So I'm going to cut it about the length of the loom. And so that I started the first one with under, over. This one's going to go over, under. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to say it in my head when I'm doing it. So I'm really in my head right now saying over, under, just so I kind of remember. This is very soothing to work on. It's kind of nice. It's something nice you can sit and listen to a book or listen to some music and work on it. And then slide it up. Keep tightening it up like this. As you go, you're going to keep doing that all the way. Now you can, it's, you know what, 2 colors, 2 of the same color in a row, even though you're doing single ones, it gives it a different look because remember, this one's going to be opposite. You're just going to keep going back and forth opposite like that. So even though I'm doing 2 of the same color, you're definitely going to get a different look because you can see the loom shows through there a little bit differently. All right. So I gave you guys a lot of yarn, but something really fun to do is anything that you have a shoelace, any kind of ribbon, anything will look good in here. You can use the material, even like a strip of t-shirt, anything fun. It's kind of fun to do a pattern. It's also really fun to just kind of leave it so it's just very random. But you're going to keep going all the way down. And as you do it, you keep pushing it up and tightening it up like this. Okay, and you can see how the ends are loose. That's okay. Just keep pushing and tightening, okay? You're going to slide it up like that. You want to kind of get it tight, all right? And then I've got one here that I've done all the way down to the bottom. You can see. And I've also gone back. You can see I've done some singles and doubles. And I even took it and I was weaving. I took a really long one like this. And I did a couple rows like that all with it. So you can see that. That's why the edges look a little different here. I just kept going back and forth with that. It's really up to you how you want it to look. Do you want it to look really tight and neat like that? I kind of like the little bit of the rustic look like that. So what you need to do when you get all the way down to the bottom is, remember we had those open ends here. Your ends are still kind of open. So I left them here so you can see these are just open. You come back and you're just gonna give them a tie, a quick tie like this. No special knotting or anything that you need to know. You just look and say, oh, this guy's a loose one. I'm gonna tie it to the one next door to it. Make sure you're tying a top one to a bottom one, an over to an under, like the same way we wove it, okay? And then I have one here. See how there's a loop on the end? Another way you can do that is you can fold it back under and weave it through. So you can kind of do the same process, the over, under. So it's gonna give it kind of that more finished edge. I kind of like the combination of having two different looks to it. So just tuck that through. But you can see it's kind of like a little messy, you know, it's kind of not, we don't want it to be perfect. These 2 I took and tied the ends. And then I came back in with my scissors and like, here's one here, give it a little trim. I kind of wanted them all to be around the same length. So a couple of them were really long compared to all the other ones. So you can see here's all my tied ends down here. Gonna leave that on there. These are the ends that are the loops. So this is the time when you take a stick that you go out and forage for in your yard. And I measured it. I knew I had this size of piece of cardboard, so I make sure I have a stick that would work really good with it. Make sure it's not too big around. You're not gonna have a giant loop. So you're gonna take your first loop off, right? And you're gonna give it a little twist and slide it right on your stick. This is the time where it's important that you got the right size stick, okay? One at a time, just take them off, twist it a little, return it, and then I'm putting it right on there. It's gonna take a little working to get it on there. Take the next one off. Remember, don't take them all off at once. We're just taking one off at a time and putting it on our stick as we get to it. Otherwise, the top can come undone. This is the only thing securing it on here right now is your cardboard. So remember, you wanna just take each one off as you're ready for it. So come to the next one, pull it off. So I hope you guys have fun doing this. It's it's a cool skill. Now you guys know how to make your own loom. So this is something you can do with a lot of different things. I used to make a lot of pot holders doing this when I was a little girl. My mom has tons of them still that I made for her. Okay, slide this all the way on. And again, like I said, remember, use, little bits of odds and ends you have around your house. It's kind of fun to see something special if you put in there, or if you want to make it like colors that match your room, or if you have something like that, you can do that. But you can weave with almost anything. All right. So I've got it all the way on there. Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of working to get it down. Like I said, the stick is kind of big, so I'm going to it's important to measure, make sure you get the right stick for the product. It's a good idea to get you guys outside. The weather's getting nice. You can go look in your yard. I don't know about you, but my yard is full of sticks and things that have built up over the winter. All right, got it moved down. Once you get it all the way on there, then it's safe to take it off the bottom. Carefully, again, pull it off like that. You can save your loom, you can use it again. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna work on this a little bit more and get it into the center of my stick so it looks cool. And I'm gonna take a leftover piece of yarn and use it to hang it on the wall. I hope you guys have fun. Send me some pictures of how your projects turn out. Keep an eye out for next month's project.